Hey, Umar! Not to be popular. It's just I'm inspired by my brother, that Reality Temple's brother, the most powerful voice on the internet, that real angel snubbing up 7. That's right, brother. I'm calling you out, brother. I'm building you. I'm putting you out there, brother. I'm shouting you out. That's my inspiration.
And my name is Myron. They call me SNIFFY. My name Myron Johnson. They call me SNIFFY. They call me SNIFFY. My cousin is Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm here to give y'all a message. Y'all better leave my cousin alone. That's what y'all better do. My cousin Umar doing good work for y'all. Y'all some stupid ass niggas, man. And y'all ain't giving the man no money. Y'all think because y'all gave my cousin a little money, y'all think y'all own him. Y'all don't own a motherfucker down up in here. And y'all gonna be looking real stupid August the 2020 when my cousin opened up that school. He gonna be opening up that school, and them boys gonna be getting educated. He gonna be doing more than y'all dumb ass kids. That was y'all.
Free your mind.
Okay, have a lot to say, but I believe I can make my point within the time limits of this video. What we want to talk about today is our dietary habits. And I want to speak about how some of us, we make our dietary habits religious. You want people to believe that the way that you eat to live is the way to go. The same way that we believe in Jesus and Muhammad and whatever gods, Yahweh, Yashara, whatever gods that we believe in. Some of us, we embrace these different types of dietary practices. And we want to teach people and show people, and we want to convert people. This is the way human beings is supposed to live. This is our diet. The human being has been so exploited. The human being has been so out of our nature for so long, we don't know what is natural to us. So everything that we're doing nowadays is trial and error. And some of us believe that we got it. That's not necessarily true. It is going on, actually it's spring right now, going on summer. My favorite time of the year, because I do eat meat. I like a little beef, I like a little chicken, and I like a little fish. I don't eat pork at all. I've never really been a pork eater. I was raised on pork. Many of you was raised on pork. All of a sudden, y'all can't stand no pork. You was raised on the stuff. I never really liked pork to begin with. So when I was introduced to Islam, and of course, in that religion, pork, the pig, is strictly prohibited by Allah. So you're not supposed to touch, let alone eat the hog, according to the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. So when they said we don't eat pork, that was no big deal for me because I never really liked it anyway. I think the only thing I really liked about pork was I liked pork steaks and I liked pickled pig feet. That was it. I really didn't have a taste for pork. But I do eat a little beef. I eat a little chicken. I eat a little fish. I really love my vegetables. I love, this is one of my favorite vegetables right here. I love this time of the year because I can find pretty decent quality tomatoes. I love tomatoes. I love corn. I love okra. All kinds of vegetables, squash, cucumbers. I just love vegetables. Carrots. I love my vegetables. That's me. So the majority of my diet really is a lot of vegetables. I love vegetables. I wish I could cook better. But that would make my vegetables even more tasty. But I'm sort of on the lazy side when it comes to cooking. I don't like to wash a lot of dishes, so I just rather just grab a tomato. Preferably, I'd rather go out into the garden, grab a tomato straight off the vine. That's how I was raised. Some of you probably was raised that way too. I grew up in an environment where I could just go out and take an apple and pears and plums and peaches and tomatoes. I could take that straight from the tree, straight from the vine. So, unfortunately, many of us, we depend on the grocery store. But what I want to say real quick is this religious, the religious manner that many of us are looking at our diets, and we treat these diets like we treat religion. Oh, you got to believe in Jesus. You got to believe in Allah. You got to believe in such and such. You got to be a vegan. You got to be whatever diet, a vegan, and some of these other diets, half vegan. I don't know what this stuff. You got to follow what Dr. Sebi said, what the Nation of Islam, how to eat to live. Let's start with how to eat to live. Now, how to eat to live by the Nation of Islam taught to eat 1 meal a day. And Malcolm was a perfect example of 1 meal a day. And he looked very, very good. Look, I want to say this very perfectly clear. There's nothing wrong with trying to stay healthy. There's nothing wrong with trying to keep yourself in the best manner that you can be. But when you run around here and you actually believe that what you got is the bomb, then there's a problem. And you try to become arrogant and you think that what you have is how we're supposed to go. Because, see, time reveals. Now, they say, there are benefits if you follow the Nation of Islam, How to Eat to Live. There is benefits, and that's a good thing. But at the same time, when you look at Nation of Islam or those who practice that, they are not living no longer than nobody else. They are still catching diseases, cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure, low blood pressure. Still being affected by that. Because also, there are certain things that start to happen to you simply because you get older. And it's going to happen to you. And I don't care how healthy you are, you're not going to escape death. So you're going to die. I don't care how healthy you try to be. You will be a good-looking dead person, but you're going to die, okay? The human being, all life on this planet, have a certain lifespan, and you're going to do that. You're going to be a baby, begin to mature, and you're going to die. There's nothing your diet can do. You will be healthy. Well, I said, wow, when she died, they was real healthy, but you're going to die, okay? So that's not going to change nothing. Also, these diets are not proving that they are really doing anything special for none of us, because there are factors that y'all just ignore. You have to understand that no matter, I don't care, you can talk all that organic stuff. You run around here buying organic food and juicing and all this stuff that y'all doing. When it's all said and done, your air is poison, your water is poison, the soil is poison. So you cannot escape death. You are surrounded by death. So no matter what you take in, you still can't avoid the poisons. So if that was the case, there should be hundreds of people who practice the Nation of Islam, eat 1 meal a day. It should be many of these people 100 years old and growing, but you don't see that. Why? You don't see that. You have people like the Maasai people. I want to thank my brother Daniel for sending me that video. I believe it's the Maasai people in Africa. The only thing they eat is meat for y'all vegetarians. And I guarantee you, they are just as healthy as you are. They are not suffering from cancers, high blood pressure, and sick or whatever. They eat no vegetables, just meat, period. No vegetables. Explain that. Oh, the human being, that's not natural for us to eat meat. How do you know that? These people was put in an environment. If you want to survive, the only thing available is something to some flesh. That's all. So they had no choice. That's how they've been living for maybe thousands of years. Then I watch videos. People eat frogs, insects, bugs, all kinds of stuff. And they look perfectly healthy. They eat, of course, vegetables, and they eat a lot of meat too. It's a combination. In fact, to me, the human being, in order for us to populate the planet the way the human being has done, you have to be what they call an omnivore. An omnivore is one who can eat vegetable and flesh. You can do both. Now, when you're just relegated to the flesh or to vegetables, you might have a problem when there's plenty of vegetation, but there's no flesh available. When there's no flesh available, plenty of vegetation, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have a problem. all animal life on this planet, the more adaptable you are, the more flexible you are, the more successful you are going to be on this planet. And plus you have this brain. This is why the human being has populated so many spots on this planet, being a mammal. Being a mammal. So follow Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi is dead. He didn't live that long. He didn't make 100 years old, didn't make 90. Elijah Muhammad didn't make 90. Louis Farrakhan is fighting prostate cancer. Eat 1 meal a day. That didn't stop prostate cancer. Also, there's so much fallacy in these teachings, which I don't understand, because in the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, I was taught that we could not eat Brussels sprouts, but we can eat cabbage. It's not prohibited. You can eat it, but he teaches that God said you should not eat Brussels sprouts, but we can eat cabbage. My question is, Brussels sprout is cabbage. It's in the cabbage family. It is a cabbage. So why can we eat cabbage, but we can't eat the Brussels sprout? It's a cabbage too. And then in the Nation of Islam, they are taught they cannot eat nuts. You should not eat nuts. It's not divinely prohibited. You can eat it, but Elijah Muhammad suggests that you don't eat nuts because God told him every time you eat nuts, it takes 5 years of your life. Well, he must ate a lot of nuts or something, because he didn't even live to be 100. He must have been eating a whole lot of nuts, peanuts. Well, not peanuts. We're going to talk about that real quick. A whole lot of nuts, because he did not even live to be 100 years old. But every time you eat nuts, it takes 5 years off your life. This includes peanuts, or they was just doing it ignorant, because peanuts, even though we call it peanut, a peanut is not a nut. A peanut belongs in the legume family. A peanut is a pea. It's an underground pea that grows under the ground. It's not a nut. Nuts come from trees. That's where nuts come from. Pecan tree, a walnut tree. Nuts come from trees. Macadamia tree. Peanuts grow under the ground from a vine, right? A vine. It's a nut. It's a legume. It's a pea, an underground pea. So why? So if this is God teaching you this, why God wouldn't know that a Brussels sprout is a cabbage, but you said that we can eat cabbage? Don't eat nuts, and you talk about the peanut, but the peanut is not a nut. Wouldn't God, if God taught you, wouldn't God know that a peanut is not a nut? It would not be considered a nut. So, in conclusion, basically what I'm saying is live healthy, do the best that you can, but y'all tripping on all these diets and trying to be healthy, and you trying to want to force your dietary religion on others, and chances are you are dying and you're getting sick just like anybody else. I don't see nothing special about these people being a vegan or whatever these diets are. I don't see nothing special. You're still getting cancer, you're still getting sick, and you're still going to die. And in the situation that we're in, we shouldn't even worry about our diet, because what's the sense of being healthy just to live in a racist ass society? So
free your mind.
Peace, love, and always. I'm your brother, the mighty angel Snuff. I'm here at the celebration of Dr.
Pastor Ray Hagen. Sorry, I'm so nervous and I'm sick. Dr. Hagen is sick. But I'm here with Dr. Umar Johnson. Just heard him speak, and as you know, Brother Angel 707 always looking for black unity and that spirit. And brother, would you like to say something to the audience, the YouTube community?
Oh, sure. Peace and love, brothers and sisters out there in the internet world. Dr. Umar Johnson,
Yes,
Prince
sir.
of Pan-Africanism.
Yes, sir.
I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri, celebrating my big brother, Pastor Dr. Ray Hagen's 15 years of doing it big with the African Village. So we came out today to show love to him. Whole congregation, a lot of good people out here in St. Louis. So it's just been a lot of love. I'm just trying to spread that good gospel of Garveyism and Pan-Africanism. We're going to keep on doing it till the wheels fall off. And cop the new book.
Thank you very much, Brother Umar, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Okay. Angel 707, Reality's Temple on Earth, and I'm the Mighty One, also your soul brother, number one. I just want to spend a few minutes and talk to us about our brother. I guess some of us don't consider him a brother anymore. This personality, this person that we know of as Dr. Umar Johnson. I actually briefly met Dr. Umar Johnson. I believe it was 2010. Forgot exactly what year it was. Wonderful speech. I brought, guests out to hear him talk. He was speaking at the 15th anniversary of anniversary in relation to Pastor Ray Hagen. And Pastor Ray Hagen's admired Umar so much that he was calling Dr. Umar Johnson his son. I don't really hear too much about Pastor Ray Hagen's anymore. I'm sure that he's still doing his thing, but he's not really out here on social media. He's not involved in this current climate of, internet things, whatever. But upon meeting Umar Johnson for the first time, I was impressed. At that time, Dr. Umar was very professional. As always, he speaks very eloquently. He speaks like he knows what he's talking about. Very convincing, very articulate man. He still is. And I was going to donate a little money to his cause. I had wrote the check, and the only thing I had to do was mail the check. But then I saw a YouTube video, and the YouTube video showed him where he was talking or saying, speaking very, very Hasidic in reference to descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin with African or Aboriginal ancestry, speaking really, really nasty about us. Y'all some trifling Negroes. This all you can give me is $250,000? Y'all buy those high-priced shoes, and he gave examples of what we do with our money. And my thing is, nobody has to give you nothing. If people want to buy weed, they want to get drunk, that's their money. They work for it. Whatever you get, you should be happy for whatever you get. Calling somebody trifling, these some trifling Negroes. because nobody want to give you any money. Who are you? We don't even know you, really. Who are you? Donate to you. How do we know that you can do what you do? There has never been a plan. We don't see no blueprints or nothing. We don't, I mean, how are you going to do this? We don't even know. We're supposed to just listen to you and say, hey, that sounds like a good idea, and give you our hard-earned money. Most of us work very hard for our little money that we get. So I took that check and threw it in the trash. And it soon got even worse. Next thing you know, he's arguing, going back and forth with Tariq Nasheed and Sarah Sudan Seti and Sadnetta and Boyce Watkins, and the list goes on and on. I'm like, his whole professional attitude disappeared. And he become this Pan-African thug, I guess. I don't know what else to call it. Then he's in the strip club. And the main thing is that he's raised all this money and there is no school. There's not a school bus. There's no pencil, there's not no paper. Well, it might be in his apartment on the floor somewhere. You know, you have those who have been making mockery of his apartment. I could care less. I know people who live that way. So I guess you think because he's Dr. Umar Johnson that he's supposed to keep his house clean. I just don't trip off that. I'm concerned about the money you're raising. I'm concerned that you need to produce this school. How you living, that's not no concern of mine. How dirty your apartment is. So now you're supposed to have this school, but now you need more money to renovate it. He does not say how much this school costs, how much money do you have left. It says a lot of details. But I would say this. I want to say this to us. I like Dr. Umar Johnson. In fact, I like a lot of us out here. We have the right to criticize. We have the right to critique. That don't mean I don't like you. I like anybody that's making an attempt. But there's a problem when you look like you're scamming folks. Or in fact, some of them have actually been proven to be scammers. We got a problem here. And then there are those who believe in that person. Just like we believe in the white man. I don't care how much the white man lie, cheat, and steal. I don't care how many of us they kill. You got these Negroes, they gonna hold on to the white man for dear life. And that's our people. They gonna keep trying to marry them and love each other and I just love me some white people. White people is my best friend. They're gonna do it no matter what. There are those, no matter, even though you show them they are scammers, they do this and do, they're gonna hold on to these people. But the sad thing about it is, Dr. Umar and a lot of these other folks, they actually have the potential to be far, far greater than what they are. Even somebody like Minister Louis Farrakhan. The man has the potential to, Louis Farrakhan has so much potential, but he's caught up in the praise and the celebrity and the money and used to be booty. I don't think he can do nothing with that no more, but get praise and all this stuff. All of our people, we always, I understand why we get caught up, because when you come from nothing or you struggle most of your life, you don't have nothing. Then when you get this money, you didn't have no woman. Now all the women want to jump in your bed. It goes to your head. And that's our problem. Because when you listen to some of these brothers and sisters, when they talk, many of them, you can hear there is a lot of sincerity in it. But we get caught up. So I have nothing personally against Dr. Umar or Mr. Farrakhan or Cynthia G or China Fox or David Banner or any of these, Sonetta, Young Pharaoh. I have nothing against nobody. It's just sad, and it makes me cry to a certain point that all these people have so much potential and it's all going to waste. You make yourself sound good, but actions speak louder than words. Look at what you actually what are you creating? What are you really producing? We're not. And what little we're producing is not good enough. Well, look over here. We got this. Look, it's not good enough. You didn't get the memo. Even if Dr. Umar Johnson was able to open up this school and open up another one over here, California, in Nevada, in New Jersey, in Louisiana, it don't make no difference. It's not going to help our situation. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. It's not good enough. I understand that you love Minister Farrakhan, you love the Nation of Islam. They're not doing enough. The energy that you're using on these small projects that we do, you can use that energy on something big. In order to get a reward of something big, you have to invest big. You have to do it big. Here we are doing all this feel good, trying to stay safe projects. It's not getting you nowhere. You got to do it big. That's what gamblers do. Gamblers gamble as much as they can because the payoff, the more money they put on the line, the bigger the payoff. Now, of course, when you lose, you're going to lose big too if you're gambling. We're not gambling here. We have the talent, we have the resources, we have everything that we need in order to pull off something really, really big. I hate to see somebody like Dr. Umar Johnson. He's going to waste. He does not really understand his value because he's probably, look, Brother Umar, if you're out there listening, chances are you're over your head. Why don't you it's very easy. Just come clean. Say, look, I'm over my head. It's not going the way that I want it to, that I want it to go. I'm not going to be able to pull it off. Y'all forgive me. I had to take care of myself and things of this nature. Whatever. Don't worry, because your people gonna support you regardless. Now what can anybody say? You come clean. They what else can they say? Now you can start all over again from scratch and work on the great potential that you really are. I truly feel that Umar Johnson has a greater potential than Frederick Douglass or Marcus Garvey put together. He's an incredible person if you listen to him. Yes, he does. But you can't do it by yourself. A lot of us don't have we don't have sincere friends and people around us, and we get caught up. Or we play the loner game and give yourself bad advice. So
we go down the wrong path. The problem is if you want to stay on that path. Umar and all these people, you don't have to do what you do. Your reward will be much, much greater if you did, like Spike Lee said, do the right thing. All these little trinkets, this little praise, woo, you just don't know what your real reward would be if y'all done it more correctly. And you gravitated to new ideas and new strategy. You be successful.
Free your mind.
All right. What we going to talk about right now? Well, we want to talk about my experience in the early 80s with the Nation of Islam, being a helper, not a follower, an assistant. I don't follow nobody. I have yet to see somebody I want to follow. I will assist you. I will help you. But that following thing, it usually comes, or it usually means that you cannot think for yourself. You some type of robot. Can't do it. Never have been able to do it. When I was a child, I will follow you. I followed my mother, followed my parents. But after a certain period of time, we have this thing, we don't, even animals. That following thing, you help me, I will help you. That type of thing. That following thing, it's not for me. I can't get into it. Especially a lot of these persons are very incompetent. They really don't know what they're doing. It would not be wise to be just following somebody blindly. Now, mind you, there really isn't nothing bad with being a follower. The problem is when we follow these folks, we allow them to do our thinking for them. For us. We allow them to do our thinking, our behaviors. They dictate everything. Almost sound like slavery. But look at here. Look at here. On this visit, or what brought me to this visit, was I was watching our favorite Brother Ben X. And Brother Ben X is on video crying again about how they are mistreating Minister Farrakhan, and they take things out of context and such and such and such. I really, it's not good being a helper. Well, in Brother Ben's case, he's a follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So he accepts being a follower, a blind follower at that, really not thinking things through at all. And these same persons, many of them, will get angry at me, upset with me, because I'm just telling you the truth of my experience. You can't tell me what happened or did not happen. You cannot tell me I'm a disgruntled employee or none of that, because you're not there. You are not in a position to judge me. You don't know what happened. The only thing you know that you like this person and you don't like the fact that you hear something negative and you hope that it's not true. Really, you don't even give a damn whether it's true or false, because you're so blind, you're such a robot, you're going to follow them, good or bad. It don't make any difference to you, as in the case of Brother Ben X. But it's a lot of pressure being Brother Ben X with Farrakhan in 2019. It's a lot of pressure because this man has done so much crap, and people are researching, and they really see the history of the Nation of Islam, and the Nation of Islam
don't look good in the eyes of the people like it once did. So Brother Ben constantly has to defend Farrakhan. In the 1980s, I didn't have to defend Farrakhan like that. There were no people, Farrakhan. There was no people, he's a trickster, he's a deceiver. You didn't hear that type of talk in the 1980s when I was in the ranks of what they call the fruit of Islam. You didn't hear that in the neighborhoods. You didn't hear that on media except from the racists. Now, the so-called Jews and some other Caucasian people, you heard things. And even from certain black folks, soul brothers and sisters, you heard certain things. But on the level that you see right now, that did not exist. He was a much respected person. I would say that he was a champ. Now, I'm saying that the man was a champ in the 1980s. I'm going to tell you why. Brother Ben, it's only going to get worse. Whether Farrakhan is living or dead, you're going to have to deal with this. And I don't know how long Brother Ben is going to be able to bear with the incredible pressure, because he knows, and many of these people know, that a lot of the things that is being said is true. You know that, but you try to make excuses instead of saying, I made a mistake. Instead of doing that, we want to be arrogant. And your arrogancy, that's the word, right? Arrogancy. Your arrogance is going to keep you in boiled water. So if that's what you want to deal with, you want to be a know-it-all. You have the supreme wisdom. Nobody can't tell you a damn thing. Well, since you are sitting on such a high horse, believe me, when you sit on a high horse, there are going to be a lot of people that want to knock you off because you think that you all that, and they want to show you ain't all that, and you're not really. And the only reason I believe that Brother Ben is hanging with Farrakhan the way he is because he actually was able to meet Farrakhan, and Farrakhan shook his head and smiled in his face, and that gives him a boost. But all this pressure, this negative stuff that keeps hammering, I don't know how long Brother Ben is going to last. But in the 1980s, like I say, Louis Farrakhan was a champ. I was very proud to wear that bow tie. I was very proud to sell those papers. And whatever we was doing, I was proud. Farrakhan represented the Nation of Islam really, really strong. He spoke for the hurt and the pain of soul brothers and sisters in this nation. And even if you didn't really like the man, they had respect for him. There was no people calling him Farrakhan, he's a fraud, he's a scam artist, all this type of things that they are saying right now. I did not experience that. Everywhere I went, there was an extreme love for Louis Farrakhan in the 1980s. He really was a champion. And anybody that was in the 1980s, especially if you was in the ranks of the Nation of Islam, you felt good about what you was doing. You felt you was on the right path, and you felt that we was going to get this job done. You knew that liberation was right around the corner. All over the country. Grassroots. There was excitement. We did not need CNN. We did not need Fox and C-SPAN and all this other, the crackers media. We didn't need that. We had everything I need from our people. The problem started when Louis Farrakhan joined the election campaign of Jesse Jackson for president, which was a smart move to a certain point, because prior to that, even though Minister Farrakhan was grassroots, he was still able to draw thousands of people. I mean, thousands of people to large stadiums and auditoriums. Grassroots. But see, for some people, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. So he joins Jesse Jackson election campaign. And that's when Farrakhan went from grassroots to the national spotlight. And see, that's when the problems began. Like I told you, Mr. Farrakhan said in 1982, I'm just your brother. Don't call me honorable. But after the Jesse Jackson being uplifted from the grassroots level to national recognition, next thing we know, it's the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And he just began to change his whole attitude. See, fame messes with people. When the money starts coming in, when the women start giving you all the booty you can handle, and all this praise, you the honorable, you begin to believe your own hype, and you start losing the sincerity in your original mission. And then, of course, Farrakhan could not stay true to the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. He began to change the teachings and switch things around. And of course, later, he would embrace Scientology, and y'all know the story. It gets worse and worse and worse. Then, because of the internet and social media, many of us are learning about the real history about the Nation of Islam and Malcolm, and basically what the Nation of Islam is, period. So not only are we looking at Farrakhan, we're looking at the teachings themselves. See, back in the day, nobody questioned religion. It was given to you, usually by force. As a child, this stuff is thrown on you. However you get it, it's not really questioned. You just believe what you're told, and you run with it. But in today's modern times, people ask questions. A lot of things don't make sense, and they begin to challenge. So now, in this day and time, Brother Ben X, you have a leader after 40 years. Don't blame me. I have nothing to do with it. Your leader has shown himself to be incompetent, has no vision. He has produced, after 40 years, has produced really nothing. You talk about we wake up all the minds. You just want to convert the minds to a religion. You're not really looking at what is in the best interest of the people. You're looking out for your own self-interest, which is to convert people to Islam. That's what you really want. That's what you said out of your mouth. I already know it. That's the teachings. It has nothing to do with the liberation of a people, to convert the masses to a religious system. And whether you like it or not, Arab wannabes. This God come all the way over here to give us somebody else hand-me-down religion. Islam is not somebody's nature. Islam is a religion. It says in the Quran, I give to you Islam as a religion. It is not the nature of a people, because you don't have to give what is natural, what already is a part of you. You don't have to give that to nobody. You don't have to give a chicken or a dog or a cat its nature. It's already part of it. No, I have to give it to you because it's man-made. It did not come from a God. It did not come from nature. It came from a man. It's simple as that. So now you have Brother Ben. He's trying to hang, but he's slowly breaking down because it's all this pressure. But like I said, Brother Farrakhan, Louis Farrakhan, was a champ in the 1980s. But once, like I said, once he began to get that national attention, the real Farrakhan started coming out, which was already there. This man has the nerve to say that Malcolm X died so he could live and he's better than Malcolm X. How arrogant of a thing. If it was not for Malcolm, the chances of you being around would be almost 0%. Malcolm did not die so that you could live. Malcolm X died because he was shot down in the Audubon ballroom by some cowards. That's why. Not for you. In fact, you was you was telling the world the man is worthy of death. And see, that's another thing. He does things, says things, but he does not want to be held accountable for what he says and what he does. But see, in this modern time, people just ain't gonna, they're not gonna let you slide with too much of nothing. I mean,
Free your mind.
what we want to talk about? Excuse me. We want to talk about the, I guess you could say, the Black Zionist. Of course, many of us are familiar with the Zionist Jews, and a Zionist is only a person who wishes to establish a homeland for their specific group of people. And that's what that's why we know of some persons that's called Jews. They use the adjective Zionist Jews. These are the persons who wanted a homeland, or who wanted to, or who believe that this state of Israel belongs to them, and they want to reestablish, or they want to go back home. And it seems as though they were successful in that attempt. And these were Zionists. But a Zionist is only somebody who wishes to reestablish himself or seek a homeland for his or her people. So there are many of you who call for separation from the white man. There are many of you who say we should be building a nation. That would put you into the category, and you technically could be called Zionist black people, because you want to establish yourself somewhere in your own nation, or you want to reestablish yourself in a place where you left, you know, that type of thing. You would be considered a Zionist. Even so, I am told that we actually can learn from Caucasian people, that we can learn from the white man. So when we watch this Zionist Jew and we watch their actions, see, look, actions speak louder than words. Many of us, that's all we do is talk. And y'all sound good talking. You sound like you know what you're doing and everything. But actions speak louder than words. And your actions demonstrate who and what you really are by your actions. Because you can say anything out of your mouth. So what? So what? You can say anything out your mouth. But when you study the actions of these persons called Jews, right after the fall of Nazi Germany, they did not want to stay with their oppressor. Mind you, Adolf Hitler and the Nazis are done. They are done. They are no longer a threat. But it makes no difference. These people want to get out. They want to leave a land that caused them so much hurt and pain. Now, in the case of the Black Zionists, these people called black folks in this country, they don't do that. They don't seek to leave the place that lynched them, raped their mothers, grandmothers, castrated their fathers, enslaved them for 300 years, and continue to this day do horrific and wicked things to us, not interested in leaving the oppressor. But this is what the Zionist Jew, this is what the Jews decided to do. And there was no longer a threat from Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. But they still didn't want to be there. I want my own. I want to get out of here. So that's exactly what they began to work on. I want out of here. I don't want to live here. I don't care if the Nazis are here or not. I don't want to be here no more. I want my own. And that's what they've done. And you may not like, and it may not be just, how they were able to establish their own country or their own nation, but they got the job done because they were serious about it. They did not take no for an answer. There was no excuses. This is what we want, and they got it. And now they have their own little space. It's not a big space, but they have nuclear weapons. They take care of themselves. They know how to take care of themselves, and they done what they had to do. Now, when it comes to the black Zionists, still living here with Massa, voting, building schools, African-oriented or not, you're still here, comfortable, living with Massa. Selling bean pies, wearing bow ties. We want separation. You're going to tell Massa, give me some steak. These Zionist Jews didn't ask nobody for nothing. They used their brain. They made certain moves and maneuvers to get what they wanted. And on top of that, they did not want nothing in Germany. Now, I'm very sure there are many Jewish folks that still live in Germany, but as a people, they wanted out. The majority wanted out, and they established their own homeland. Now you have thousands, not a few hundred. You have 1,000,000. You have thousands, if not maybe a couple of million, of people who talk this crap. I want my own nation. I want my own black nation. But they're not like the Zionist Jews. These Zionist black folks, really it's a joke. They are making no attempt to establish or reestablish some type of homeland. It's a joke. Because your actions speak louder than you. We trying. No, you're not. You're not trying. You're not trying enough. You keep talking all this Africa stuff. If you look at a country like the Congo, I think the Congo is the biggest, largest nation in Africa, the Congo. The Congo has enough real estate. If you establish some type of relationship with the people of the Congo, maybe they would break you off a chunk so that you could establish something that you could call your own. You can get everything from Africa except a land where you can say this is ours, and you can, excuse me, you can create your own nation. You don't have the attitude. But see,